Hey, sleepyheads. So, I wanted to come on here tonight and deliver a divine message that I got for the new moon. And, at first I was just going to keep it in my journal and not say anything, but I think a lot of people could benefit from hearing this. But, I had been having this vision for like 3 weeks of being in front of a lion's. I don't know what you would call it at a zoo, but just like where they keep all the lions in a zoo, but there's like this barrier between me and the lions. And I had been having this vision of just sitting and meditating in front of the lions, and I didn't know what it meant fully. Because at first I was like, okay, it's about my empowerment. I need to do something for myself. I need to come into a new level of strength, and that's pretty much what I had like summed it up to be. But today I realized that the creatures in the cage were essentially my dreams, and I think a lot of people can relate to the possibility that you are holding on to your dreams because you have such a severe attachment to them. And if you're also like me, you're holding onto your dreams because it sustains your ability to be on this planet, to live here, to connect with others, to basically want to live. And I think, I have been healing my suicidality complex for a while now, and I've reached some new levels with it because the hugest part that you have to address is, okay, I'm gonna choose to continue living, and I'm gonna do that for myself, and I'm gonna do it with joy and excitement. And how do you get to that place? And this was a huge reason of why I realized I needed to stop smoking weed, because I didn't know how to feel joy without it. And having that realization was, it kind of shocked me, of course, but it just helped me realize that I needed to like really work on my true feelings about life and wanting to live and being on this planet. But when it comes to my dreams, since I was a teenager, I've always used my dreams as a means of escapism, for one, but also just to feel like I had a reason to still be living. And I felt like my dreams would be the one thing that would make up for all of the hardships I'd gone through and the difficulties. So if I could just fulfill that dream, then it would mean more and it would be something powerful. But yeah, the message that I got was that and this was after like, I did some stretching. I was literally taking a bath when I got this message. But dreams supplement the magic of life. They do not create the magic of life. And I think society, modern day culture, Disney, I think it really puts it into our minds that dreams are what make life special and wonderful. But, once upon a time in human existence, there was just people living. There was no conceptions of fame, and there was no expectations on what one created and how they went about their lives and how they chose to live. But our modern society, if you think about luxury culture, but then hierarchy, and hierarchies not only in wealth, but in education and race and opportunities, all of that has really reinforced this idea that, you know, you have to be somebody and you have to gain status to find purpose in life. And I think it's annoying. It kind of sucks to admit that, you have those feelings about that. But if I'm being honest, I do. And that's okay. But this new moon shift, I think collectively is about people letting go of the pressure to, well, people letting go of their dreams. And it's crazy too because when I woke up today, like a lot of people, I scroll through different apps and I like to scroll through YouTube. And a video that I came across was wild animals being released back into their natural habitats after rehabilitation. And I have been in this deep state of healing and kind of isolating myself to get back to a space where I can really be around people and know that I am embracing life and that I feel joy for life and I want to connect with other people. But I genuinely haven't been in that energy yet. And when I saw this video, I realized I was like those wild animals. And when I was in the bathtub tonight, I realized my dreams were like those animals in the zoo. They were in the cage and they wanted to be set free. And I think, of course, that's the idea of letting go, but also your dreams have this intrinsic instinct and connection to you. And I had this other vision of, oh, I don't know what the formal word for it is, but and I've been up all day. I really need to go to bed. But I was like, I have to deliver this message and I can't really talk as loud as I normally would just because of my neighbors. But sled dogs. So like picture your dreams, you've set them free, but there's this invisible tether where they still push you forward because you're not doing your dreams for personal gain, but you're doing it because, it makes you feel good. It's what you love. Um, and it brings you joy. It's not about success or status. And I have this friend, and she's an older woman. I'm like in her 70s, but she's a beautiful painter and she's a beautiful writer as well. And I've always thought in my head, because I'm so aware of like the people in my life and what I'm learning from them. And so I thought, okay, what am I learning from Jan? And I think she has such a beautiful approach to her art and really letting that be for herself. And she doesn't put any pressure on it, even though she's like shown her art in galleries and she's, you know, sold different art pieces, she still doesn't put that big pressure on herself. And I was just talking to her on the phone earlier this week, and I was just like, well, how can I get to that level where, I'm not putting that pressure on myself? But in order to do that, I have to let go of the fact that, my dreams aren't going to be what makes life exciting and worthwhile. You know, they supplement that. And really, I need to embrace those simple moments in life, you know, from, I mean, of course, we all talk about being present and being in the moment. But when you have society telling you what the ultimate present reality is and what it should look like and how you should look and how you should feel and what you should have, it really throws off that mindfulness. And I think for people who live in America, it's even weirder because that culture is so normalized and ingrained. So even though we can be in the present moment, there's something inside of us that's saying this isn't what it's supposed to look like. And that creates so much inner turmoil. So the question is, can you be a part of life without feeling this sense of self torture or anger or resentment or frustration? And can you accept what your life is in that moment and where you're at in life, despite what society is telling you, despite, whatever challenges you're going through, whether that's emotional, spiritual, financial, or physical. Can you see past those things and still embrace those simple, boring moments in life that make you believe that it's purposeless all of a sudden, but it's not purposeless? That's what life was meant to be. We were meant to just wake up and go through the daily motions and allow, you know, what we need for whatever moment to come to us as we attract it. And that's inner peace. If you can really embrace the moments of life that feel purposeless and boring, if you can really find pleasure not by like grasping on to material objects or friendships or romantic relationships. And if you can not project your vision into what your life is supposed to be like, I mean, I think it's almost like if you have a new relationship, don't, of course, have expectations of being treated well and respected, but don't project the entirety of the vision of what you want your love life and or your marriage to look like. You just have to see it for what it is and accept it for what it is in that moment and allow it to grow from there, you know. And it's great to have an overall idea, but trust, that universal trust that you need to have, it comes from the fact that you can let go and not project too much of that vision, because God, the universe, whomever you like to refer to our creator as, that you're going to get what you desire, you know. And it's so funny when I think about that too, because um so at my job, we have this thing where you can take food that just gets expired, that is oftentimes still like pretty much fresh and edible. So when it gets taken off the shelves, we can take it home. And so sometimes I'll like pick out something that I want, and it's been everything from like dish soap to like one of my favorite pastries, that I normally wouldn't buy or something, to a bag of chips and or even like guacamole. It's been like just what I needed that like always pops up. And it's like the faintest thing, but it's with food, which if you know me, I love food and I'm such a foodie. But the whole idea, I think what the universe was trying to show me with that was that it knows what I want, like to the very letter. It knows exactly what I want. And I just need to trust that that'll manifest at the right time, at the right place. And, you don't have to worry about those deep desires and forcing them into your reality. They will happen, they will come. And either way, you just kind of have to let go and let life unfold as it's meant to. And if you're like me, if you have been just holding on to your dreams too tightly, um, the meditation that I did when I was in the bathtub was that just kind of picture yourself if you were in this tunnel in space. And basically, of course, the tunnel is just like a huge fold of stars. Um, but beneath you, instead of there being like a ground, it's just a rainbow. And when I saw the rainbow, I was like, oh my gosh, here we are trying to get to the pot of gold, but we're not enjoying the fact that we're walking on a rainbow. So think about that one too. But basically, when I was walking along this rainbow road, there was cage with all of these wild animals, but these animals were my dreams, and my spirit guides were with me, and they were telling me that I needed to let them out of the cage and that I needed to, have a moment with each dream and let it go and not worry about it. So I had a moment with like my writing and my music. And I had this realization that when I was in my early teens and early 20s, before I really had a set dream or a sense of like needing to financially mature my life and build security, before I put all of that pressure on myself, I was so good about just going with the flow and not being attached to anything. And I remember how easy it was for me to manifest stuff. Like, I remember when I got into college, I met with my high school counselor, and she was like, "Okay, we got you into a few colleges." And she almost cried because she was like, "But now I don't know how you're going to pay for them because um, multiple schools weren't giving me in-state tuition, so it was super expensive." But I remember like I was just so trusting and just so, I don't know, I can't even explain it, but I knew how to just be in the flow. But I just told her, I was like, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get the money." And sure enough, I wouldn't even use the word manifesting then, but I was able to get like 3, 4 scholarships, and most of my undergrad was paid for. And that was magical. It was beautiful, right? But that was that state of trusting and knowing and just like intuitively being like, okay, I'm gonna go out for that scholarship or that scholarship. Hold on. I'm like losing my voice here because, like I said, I've been I was at work all day and I did a lot of talking. But just knowing that at some point there was some version of you that could truly go with the flow and trust that what you needed was going to come to you so that you can move forward in your life. And so I'm trying to recapture that energy that I had when I was 18. And even when I was performing music, because I still have no true attachment to like a goal with my music. I just really enjoyed playing and I liked performing. And I still like performing, I just haven't done it in a while. But opportunities came to me so naturally, and the progression of those opportunities evolved so naturally. And I remember I didn't need to like ask about gigs. People would just contact me about gigs. And so I was in this effortless state of attraction because I wasn't putting pressure on that dream. I wasn't, you know, projecting this huge vision onto what I thought it would be. Every show that I played, everything that I did in reference to that goal, or just, activity, I don't even want to call it a goal, but it was all natural, and it was just, I was just wanting to see where it went and see where it took me. And I'm trying to get to that place with my writing. And I think with this YouTube channel, because I so badly was like, I'm going to break free of my 9 to 5 and I never will have to, work for anybody again. So I was putting all this pressure on my YouTube channel to be successful, but I need to let that go as well. And I need to let it grow as it's meant to grow and allow the experience to unfold as it has been unfolding. Because, each episode I do, I'm able to see the progression and my comfort and like how I'm presenting myself. So I think it's all positive. My shoulders. I'm like kind of sore from work, but I just wanted to come on here and share this message. But again, collectively, I think everyone is supposed to be getting back to like what life is truly about and being in a state of peace. And I think collectively, we are meant to break from Hollywood and entertainment and what it's done to like our self-worth and what we value now and what we're trying to, aspire our lives to look like so we can mirror what's being shown to us every day, you know, through social media and television. But I think that's the new moon shift. Trying to think if there's anything else I needed to say. Oh yeah, the last thing I wanted to say. I mean, this is hard for me to admit, but I've definitely been in that place where I felt like, oh my God, I'm a nobody. And I think a part of that too is even when you're, a person of color, just being black, I'm like, I already feel like society sees me as a lesser being and I refuse to be seen that way. But the truth is that the people who see you, the people that gravitate towards, your creativity, or your personality or your energy, those are the people who are worthy enough to see you. And that's all that matters. And I think there's an audience, there's an outlet out there for everybody. And that's all you have to worry about at the end of the day. Um, hmm, yeah, let's see. Yeah, but last thing I want to say again, let your dreams out of the cage. Do a meditation to free them. And once I have all I don't know, I could still try to figure out a way to do it without all the music tools that I wanted to do. Because I wanted to make my own meditation music and I wanted to work on that and then do my guided meditations. But just try to do a visual where you're releasing your attachment to your dreams and you're letting them go back into the wild. And that wild is the universe and its space, and it's trusting that your dreams, while they're building and gaining momentum out there, you're gaining that momentum internally, and it's going to allow that dream to come back to you essentially. So you can have that attraction relationship, right? Um, but that's a really good visual you can do. But yeah, remember, collectively, we are getting back to simplicity and what life was meant to be like. And I've said this before on my channel. Like, I remember living in the 1500s. I remember ancient society, and I remember what it was like before what, modern society is now, where you wake up and you do your chores and you spend time in nature and with people and you enjoy basic activities like dancing and singing. I hate to say it, but it's kind of like the Shire. But yeah, that's kind of a nice way to think about it. But I don't know, I think life was meant to be like that and you go through the challenges of loss and you know, struggle and physical pain and heartbreak. And you go through all of those things because that is just the motions of life. If there were speed bumps that were labeled on a road and it was just the different challenges you'd face, that's how normal it should be. And you have to think, just like a car, you're going to go over that speed bump and it's not going to be a problem. You're going to be able to do it and you'll be okay. But yeah, I'm going to be making another video soon about my weed sobriety update. So I'll probably talk a little bit more about this because I'm sure I'm going to get some more downloads. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some dreams. But yeah, I haven't even eaten dinner yet because I got off work. I went for a walk, got home. I like slathered myself in peppermint oil and CBD oil. I stretched. I journaled. I had a huge cry. And then I took a bath. And now I'm doing this. But I am hungry. But be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you've had any similar messages about this new moon energy for September and like what you're releasing. And if you've ever struggled with feeling like you're nobody or feeling like you're holding on to your dreams too tightly, let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Hopefully, in the near future, I'll be able to do lives. I just don't have the setup for that yet. But I am looking forward to doing that. And I've never been someone to like chat online in that way. So I'm kind of nervous, but I think it'll be fun. Anyways, have a good night, sleepyheads, and thanks for listening.